wrote it down.
Yeah.
And some did KI and some did KE, and you ended up with the I and we ended up with an E. In some ways, I is a little easier than E. I've also seen it KA,
I've seen K too.
and that's even easier.
Yeah.
Okay. I love this story. It's right out of Hallmark. Who's next?
It's me. The Sharanians and Kezerians associated with each other in church in Zara, Armenia. Arick and I were in the little school started by the Mormon saints. I don't remember that we had much to say to each other. She was 5 years older than I was. I was just a kid to her. From the time she was little, Arick always had a great love to my mother, Miriam. As she walked from the east part of Zara, she would stop at my mother's home and watch her work. Arick was there when I was baptized in 1901. She was a young teenager then. She left for America with her family the next year in 1902. The next time I saw her was in Salt Lake City, Utah. By then I was 18. Arick was 23. Arick graduated from the 8th grade. That was a normal education for most young people then. She was a top student and a real artist. In those times, it was not possible for her to have more schooling, but she was happy. She kept at home and worked where she could. She was a quick and good worker. I had heard that in the canning factory she was faster and earned more than anyone else. Other girls wanted to sit by her and see how she did it.
Next, over here. Should we start up here?
Sage, go. Yeah.
The first 2 years I was in Utah, I was going with a girl named Mary. She liked me a lot, but her mother didn't. One night I came out of the happy hour theater in Parade. I saw that boy named Ferdinand was in there with Mary. I was so downhearted by that. And all my being upset, I didn't notice that Arick was also in the theater until she came out of the show house and happened to meet me outside. She said, "You know Mary and Ferdinand are in there." I said, "I know that." She said, "Mary is a nice girl and good-looking girl, but don't you worry. You'll find someone." She tried to comfort me. That is the first time I remember that we said to each other, and yeah. I walked home with Arick and said goodnight. After leaving her, I went home quickly. Mary was the only girl I had on me. I laid down on my bed that night and cried.
Good job.
A little while after Arick and I met at the theater, I started to think about her. Things had changed a lot since we were in Zara. She was slender, with a good shape, long auburn hair. She had a medium complexion, large brown eyes, and very smooth skin. She was beautiful. She was healthy. She was spiritual. She was a hard worker. She was these things all of her life. You know, she even kept that healthy look and beautiful skin until she was over 75. I admit that she was a little older than I was, but then again, I sure didn't think I was a kid anymore. After a while, my cousin talked to me. She wanted me to marry Arick. Well, I want to marry Arick too, but we both knew Arick was engaged, and I'd never done anything about that. But my cousin had her own ideas. She talked to Arick's parents, and soon it became their idea too.
Do you want to read or pass it on? Okay.
Our first found out about my interest in her when she went to visit my cousin one day. Quietly, my cousin asked, "Would you like to marry Armenag?" Arick got upset. She said, "He's nothing but a kid. I like him. And he's a clean boy and a good Latter-day Saint. Well, how can I do it? He has no education, no trade. I'm 5 years older than him." My cousin told Arick, he'll grow up, don't worry, he'll grow. Arick, still worried, she she also started to think about it. The first time I went out with Arick was a little walk after my cousin talked to her. My uncle had a rented farm in the west side of Jordan River. His family was getting together for a picnic, swimming, and a good time. I asked Arick if she would like to go with me to the picnic. She said that she would like to. On the way, we passed a tall plum tree by the side of the road. I climbed up and it got us a few plums. We ate the plums as we walked along.
I took a bathing suit, and when we got there, I jumped in the river where I thought it was shallow. It wasn't. I couldn't swim. I went down like a rock. I paddled like crazy to keep from going down in the twisted water. Arick sat and watched, puzzled. First she thought I was losing my swimming suit in there. Then I looked like I was just out so crazy. She didn't know what to make of it. My uncle reached a long branch to me. I grabbed it and he pulled me out. Arick realized that I just about drowned. After that, she started to like me a little. We went with each other for about a year. One night, Arick and I were together on the south side of her house. We were standing with our arms around each other. It was so dark and cloudy that night. There were no stars, moon, or anything. All at once, it was so bright. It seemed like it was only on us. Just as fast, it was dark again. Something happened between us. We were in love together forever. She was convinced in that minute. She said to herself, Armenag and I are for each other.
And that's how it all started. That's why we're here. Okay, here's pictures. We'll skip this part. Just down at the bottom, we were married December 18th, 1913 in the Salt Lake Temple. And this is very remarkable. I never kissed my Arick until we knelt together across the holy altar of marriage in the Lord's temple. Think about that as in your experiences. Quite different, isn't it? Okay. These are the grandparents that I remember. That's what I remember them looking like. My first consciousness of them. This is what they were around in their late 70s, early 80s, and I remember them looking just like that. This was the family. All of these folks there's 8. This young man right here, Paul, he died in the Air Force. This was Norman, and he passed away in an accident, in an asphyxiation. The others went on to live, and this gal right here is Rachel. This is what Karen was talking about. This is David, and that's my father, and this is Reed, and this is Mike's dad. More information than you need, but
No, that's Joyce.
at least I know.
That's Joyce.
That's Joyce.
Actually isn't in the picture.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
That's true, all right.
That's the next year.
And then this is when they were all older. Handsome bunch. What does this mean?
Let's go to the basement.
Yeah. Anytime you went and visited Grandma and Grandpa, they always had Max root beer, which she bought from an IGA store just down the road. And she kept it in a cistern well that was down in the basement. This is not this is not the actual cistern, but this is what I found on the internet to kind of give you an idea. It actually looked like this one right here. Remember that, Mike? And it was filled with water and it just constantly flowed. And that was their refrigerator. They kept their root beer in there. And of course, we got ginger snaps. That was pretty cool. Grandma and Grandpa loved animals, particularly sheep and goats.
The dog's name was
Grandpa loved his cows. They lived off their farm right there in Murray. Having a little bit of fun. He's drinking the milk. He just and this was their garden, which they absolutely loved. And they kept it going until they couldn't anymore. This is one of my favorite pictures of him. Grandpa worked for the LDS Church in their facilities management group. And this was their shop. And just a side note there, everything they did was with steel or some kind of metal. So when they did plumbing, it was all threading pipes and so forth. Every time I walk into Home Depot, I think of Grandpa, because I'm quite certain he would have just been thrilled to walk in there and buy plastic, cut it, zip it together and be done. He never had that privilege. It was always work for him. This was the group of the facilities management that he's, and this is great. You can see Grandpa, he's this one right here. Oops. Right there. Grandma loved her flowers. And I don't think she could have posed better. This was their home on Hanar Street. This was painted by Rachel. Rachel that Sharon was talking about. And there they are. It's probably what they look like now. Thanks for coming. We went over a little bit. And we're going to stay. Gary has a presentation now on the Sean, whom we talked about a little bit earlier.